Sure, here's a short fictional story that highlights some features of a Lamborghini. I'll assume you meant Lamborghini rather than Lamborghini. I'll include elements like its design, speed, engine sound, technology, and driving experience in the story for the midnight drive. Ethan had waited months for this moment. At precisely midnight, he stood in front of his brand new Lamborghini Huracan Technica, parked beneath the soft glow of the garage lights. Its sharp lines and aerodynamic silhouette seemed almost alive, sculpted not just for beauty, but to slice through the wind like a blade. The matte Verde Selvins green paint shimmered under the lights, revealing subtle carbon fiber accents. Ethan couldn't help but run his hand over the aggressive front splitter and the sculpted side intakes that fed cool air to the mighty 5.2-liter V10 engine nestled in the rear. He slipped into the driver's seat, greeted by the futuristic cockpit. The start button, hidden under a red fighter jet-style flap, beckoned him. With a flick, the engine roared to life, the V10 unleashing its signature symphony, a deep, resonant growl that promised raw power and unrestrained speed. As Ethan pulled onto the deserted coastal road, he felt the car come alive. The lightweight chassis and adaptive suspension made every bend effortless, while the rear-wheel steering system kept the car agile, hugging corners like it was on rails. The digital instrument cluster glowed in front of him, dynamically shifting as he changed driving modes from Strada Street to Sport, and finally to Casa Track. On a long, empty straight, Ethan pressed the accelerator. The Lamborghini surged forward, the dual-clutch transmission delivering instant, razor-sharp gear changes. The horizon blurred, the exhaust crackled and popped with every shift, echoing off the cliffside. Inside, the car was a blend of luxury and technology, soft Alcantara seats, carbon fiber trim, and an infotainment system with real-time telemetry. Ethan could see live data about tire temperature, G-forces, and engine performance, adding a layer of connection between man and machine. The night felt endless as he danced along the curves of the coastline. The car felt like an extension of himself, precise, powerful, and untamed. And though the road eventually had to end, the memory of that midnight drive, the sound, the speed, and the sheer exhilaration, would stay with Ethan forever. In the world of supercars, the Lamborghini wasn't just a car. It was an experience. If you'd like, I could also write a longer story, a poem, or a technical write-up describing Lamborghini features in more detail. Would you like that? Of course. Here's the next part of the story, where Ethan takes his Lamborghini on a different adventure, discovering more of its features and the emotional bond it creates. The dawn run. The morning after his midnight drive, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about the feeling of raw freedom he'd experienced. The Lamborghini wasn't just a machine, it was a promise of more, of places unseen and roads unexplored. Before the first light of dawn, he decided to take the Huracan Technica out again, this time toward the mountains. The engine fired up with a low growl that seemed to vibrate through the garage walls. Outside, the air was crisp, the sky painted in deep shades of blue and violet. As he merged onto the mountain highway, Ethan switched to sport mode, letting the active aerodynamics do their magic. The adjustable rear wing subtly changed its angle, improving downforce for tighter turns. The Lamborghini's naturally aspirated V10 roared happily, eager for the challenge ahead. The mountain road twisted and turned, flanked by ancient pines and steep drops into fog-filled valleys. Ethan felt the power at his fingertips, the precision of the steering, the confidence the carbon ceramic brakes offered as he slowed into hairpins, and the immediate thrust back to speed as he exited each corner. Midway up the mountain, Ethan stopped at a scenic overlook. He stepped out, the gullwing-style doors rising slightly to reveal the sculpted interior, Alcantara, stitched leather, and carbon fiber seamlessly blending racing spirit with Italian craftsmanship. Behind him, the sun finally crested the mountain peaks, golden rays glinting off the Lamborghini's angular bodywork. As he stood there, Ethan noticed something unexpected on the infotainment screen, a message from the Lamborghini Unica app, inviting him to join an exclusive track day event. A chance to push the Huracan Technica beyond the limits of public roads, and to meet other drivers who shared the same passion. The idea sparked a rush of excitement. Ethan knew that while mountain roads were thrilling, a closed circuit would truly reveal what the car was capable of: acceleration from 0 to 100 km/h in just over 3 seconds, the perfect balance provided by the mid-engine layout, and the raw connection of rear-wheel drive paired with modern driving aids. Back behind the wheel, he continued his ascent. The higher he climbed, the more he realized the Lamborghini wasn't just about speed or noise. It was about feeling alive, about every sensory detail. The smell of heated leather, the mechanical clicks of the paddle shifters, the resonance of the engine bouncing off canyon walls. By the time Ethan reached the mountain summit, the road was bathed in morning light. He turned off the engine, silence settling in. The Huracan Technica sat still, yet seemed to pulse with potential energy, as if it, too, was waiting for the next adventure. Ethan gazed down at the winding road below and thought about the track day invitation. The story wasn't over. In fact, it felt like it had only just begun. If you'd like, the next part could follow Ethan to the track event, where he meets other drivers, learns advanced driving techniques, and truly unlocks what makes the Lamborghini special. Shall I continue?